And if you can say, you know, gosh, this is just one of the many festivals, and not only have I been to it, but I walked in the parade. I got to do so as a proud realtor. So it is on.
Sorry, we're trying to figure out.
That's okay.
Zoom really quick.
No problem.
Zoom.
It is not this Saturday, it is next Saturday. And the final question I have for you is, have any of you ever eaten the cauliflower soup at Red Rabbit? Anyone? It is one of the most delicious foods I've ever had. Did you say you've had it?
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's unusual, it's amazing. Us realtors are gathering at Red Rabbit on Grand Avenue between noon and 2 to just kind of assemble together, have some camaraderie, get to the right place at the right time. The parade starts at 2 o'clock, and you'll be walking for several blocks, but you'll be able to bundle up with spar hats and scarves and things like that. So I'll be there, Maria will be there, because she is the next proud representative of KWPR and Leadership Spar. Anyone else who wants to join me, I would love for you guys to come with me. So short and sweet, email me, email Spar, know that it's from noon until 2 o'clock at the Red Rabbit, and then walking the parade after that. Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. This might surprise you, but going to things like that with Melissa's a blast.
Oh yeah, we will have a good time.
She can make the most mundane thing so much fun. Her spirit, so it's awesome. Thank you, Melissa.
Yes.
Let's bring up the lovely and talented Karina. Woo!
So I just wanted to bring back our language of real estate, otherwise known as lore. So this is my first one, so please give me a little bit of grace. I'm trying to get things figured out for January, end of month, end of year, 1099s, family reunion, production awards. So I'm gonna go over some of this, and if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me. I may not respond immediately while I'm working on getting all of these things done for January, but I will respond, so please email me with any questions that you may have. So this is just the beginning graphic. Market Center year to date, we did have almost 1,300 closed units for a total of 467,997,483 in volume. So it's a lot of closed volume out there. 904 listings taken, 593 listings sold, and then there's the amounts for the dollars in the volume. And this is a graphic that you can share with your sphere online or in your presentations. We have 1,300 closed units, 904 listings taken, so we do take quite a bit of the market. And this is a little something in comparison. Every month I get this report that compares the Burnsville market, our area of focus, which is a selection of counties that is, it's very hard to see down there, but Anoka, Carver, Dakota, Hennepin, and Ramsey counties. And then there's the MLS as a whole. And this is in comparison from December versus November, so it's a month over month. Right, for the closed units sold was right about the same as last month, which, you know, is neither here nor there. However, when you compare it to the MLS and our area of focus, they all saw a decrease while we remained the same. So, way to go. Listings sold in terms of the number of units, we saw a 5.9% increase than last month, while again, the MLS and the area focus saw a decrease. And that also goes the same with listings sold volume, contracts written, the number of units, and contracts written volume. We saw a double-digit increase, and when I say double-digit, I mean anywhere from 14 to I think 28% increase, while again the MLS and the area of focus saw a decrease. So that's all your guys' hard work and efforts to command the market and take your fair share of things. So way to go to you guys. The other markets all saw decreases. So that's I think all I have for mine. I think that's it. Any initial questions right away?
Thank you for sharing this information.
Thank
It's good to see.
Hey, no questions. Woo!
Karina,
we take for granted just because she's so dang good at what she does. She's only 4 months in. That's a position that's probably 18 months to really fully get the whole scoop, and January is the biggest month. So we really appreciate you and thank you.
If anyone wants to throw chocolate at me in my office, it's very much welcome.
So yes, please, chocolate. Just-
Oh,
All right. Well, let's welcome, oh wait, before we do that, let's welcome up Sarah and Maria. Come on up, Maria. Well, as you can see, these, that was
Oh, were
interesting.
y'all doing it?
I'm like, I didn't know we had to come up here.
What do you think, you just get yelled from back there?
Yeah, well, I got a big voice.
Well, I'll let them do their magic.
Your magic?
So we are kicking off the communities for the ALC. So all ALC members are running a community, or what did it used to be called? Committees.
It's both.
It's interchangeable. So I'm heading up luxury,
I'm gonna do relocation.
and we decided that there's a lot of similarities between our two community committees. And so that we're gonna kind of team up and create a mega community.
But we're not gonna get mega until you guys like join us.
Yeah, we need more of you.
Yeah.
So here's what we're kind of thinking, and you can hop in as well. But what we want to do is help agents who want to, from a luxury standpoint, increase their price point, maybe break into the luxury market a little bit. Or maybe you're not super interested in focusing on luxury, but you want to learn a little bit about how to create a luxury experience for all of your clients, no matter their price point. Because there's an element of that customer service piece as well.
And I think that goes hand in hand with relocation. Most corporate relocation kind of expect that white glove service. So our idea is to kind of combine some efforts and get some information out to you guys so that you can kind of approach those situations and do the best that you can do.
So we are, I would guess I didn't even really talk to you about this, but we'll do a post in the Facebook group. And you can let us know.
I'll share
if you're-
the post.
We'll get together. But that way, if you're interested, you can comment or message us. And we probably need to figure out a date and time for our meeting, which we didn't do yet, but we'll do.
We'll put it in a post.
So watch for that.
So you all just watched the sausage being made right in front of you there, and it was a gorgeous thing. So ultimately, be ready for a post.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Great job. Thank you, ladies. So they are communities that we have, and then there's committees for said communities. And what it is to help everybody plug in and do more, go deeper into areas of the brokerage and in your career that you would like. So it's amazing when you have leaders that to learn from them and learn with them. So I'm looking forward to that. And you must be anticipating something.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, come on up.
Thanks. Here I am.
Here's your dinger.
Thank you. Okay, well, January is just really ticking away. So we have completed some things and we still have some things that we're gonna get to. So the rest of the month, we have Wealth Mastermind, Tech Savvy Realtor on Zoom with Jason. That's happening tomorrow. KW Connectors next Wednesday, and then we still have Broker Bootcamp. As I mentioned, Tech Savvy Realtor, Jason's doing a new thing so that you can get the most out of each class. So Tech Savvy Realtor was in the training room last week as more of a workshop, and Jason will be doing the same class at a different time, but on Zoom. CE Blitz, this is coming. I'm trying to talk with Mike Brennan. He's a very, very sweet man. I've called him a few times and he hasn't gotten back to me quite yet. But I know he's working on it and he's going on a cruise. So we're working on getting exact pricing. I will say last year it was $140 for CE Blitz. I can't imagine that it would be, too much higher, but also inflation, so maybe a little higher. And we are trying to decide if we could get lunch or not get lunch, but we don't want the price to get crazy. So just so that you know, that's what it was for last year, and we're thinking March 3rd and 4th. But again, this is to be determined and I'm really hoping that this can get figured out before he goes on his cruise on Friday. So just keep your eyes out on Facebook for the exact details of it.
And if you have any problems with that, will be on that cruise.
Yeah,
Just
Will,
say,
could
"Hey,
you
Will."
get on him for us?
Buy an extra drink or something.
Yeah.
Give us a deal.
But this is really great. For those of you that don't know, obviously you have to have your CE, your required CE done every year. And we want to make it easy for you instead of having to go to all these different places or go online at different times to get these classes done. We host a CE Blitz in here with Mike Brennan, who's from Minnesota Realty School. There is obviously that fee. He does try to, maneuver it so that it is more affordable a little bit than going out and finding all the classes individually. It usually adds up to roughly the same price. But just it's convenient, you sit in here for 2 days and you bang it out and you get it done, and then you don't have to worry about it. So I would really encourage you to get it done because it's really nice to not have to worry about it for the rest of the year. And then you're not, on June 30th freaking out,
June 31st?
yeah, freaking out about getting your CE done. So keep your eyes out for that, we'll have more information. Supper Club is this Thursday at 6 p.m. and they are meeting at Bravis, whatever it's called. This is basically just a spinoff of the Brady Brunch Club, but dinner time seemed to work better for some people. So if you want to go, feel free to sign up. It's gonna be really fun. Don't Get Fine, Get Compliant is a class that's being taught by Melissa Johnson. We're gonna be going over compliance things for social media, for print marketing, and then any other kind of compliance things that maybe people have questions on. And I know she's really great at what she does, so she has a whole spiel ready. But it's gonna be a really good class. I know we've had some people just curious about, what do I need to make sure that's on my listings when I post them on Facebook Marketplace, for example, or, how big do logos and things need to be? So those are just gonna be some refreshers there at that class. And then Essentials to Crush It in Real Estate is gonna be hosted by the other Melissa Lombard. And for those of you that don't know her, she is one of our former TLs, and she went to go be a missionary for the last few years. She's a wonderful human, and this is a really, really great class. I think Candace posted about this, who is also sitting on our ALC this year, and said this is a don't miss class. So if Candace is going, I think it's valuable to anyone. And did anybody know that awards is happening? Okay, well it is. And it's happening on the 31st, and the theme is Night in Nashville. And we can't wait for you to be there. It's gonna be really great. We're doing a live piano bar. And then obviously we're doing our 2024 awards. Even if you weren't here in the year of 2024 and you might not be up for any awards this year, you're new to the brokerage, whatever, we still encourage you to come. It's for everybody at KWPR. And it just will give you a really good inside look of what our culture's like, what we, like to celebrate and all of those kinds of things. So it's going to be really great. We hope that you can make it. You can come in your best, CMA attire, or you can come in your everyday clothes, or you can come in maybe like bib overalls, whatever you want to wear. All is welcome. There is going to be a pasta bar for dinner, and
Shirt underneath.
well, maybe not. Either way. Yeah, well, whatever.
So Will's eyes light up.
Will be there with no. And yeah, so we're really excited, looking forward to celebrating with you. We are going to be sending out another email for sign up, and there's going to be a link in there as well to sign up to help with setup and help with takedown. It is obviously not required, not mandatory, none of that. However, it's really appreciated if you would be able to help. There's going to be a couple slots for sign up for setup, and then teardown will be from 11 to midnight. And then if anybody is willing, we've had some awesome volunteers like Bill in the past and Ann last year. We could use some help with a couple of vehicles, maybe transporting things back to KWPR. We'll just throw it in Jason's office. Don't tell him that. And we will get it cleaned up, but we'll just drop it in there and everybody can go home. So it'd be really, really helpful if you would be willing to sign up for that. So just look for that email. That's all.
Thank you.
First of all, going back to this, notice that she was a TL and then went on a mission. I know this, being a TL for you guys definitely brings you closer to God. Thankfully. Real quick about this too, I think we've all been to, corporate events, right? And it's pretty easy. I mean, the easy button for a corporation is to, just hire somebody to put on an event. And it's cookie cutter, which is great. I don't blame them. I think it's easy to do it that way. If you haven't been to one of these, it's handcrafted. Mostly by Toddy and Grace, but it's handcrafted. It's kind of like when you get that gift that, someone just orders on Amazon and it's just, well, hey, okay, that's a nice gift, but it's just kind of not really much thought. This has a lot of thought to it, a lot of in-depth care, and I'm always impressed with what they're able to do. Well,
Is it kid friendly?
It is not, no, you get one plus one.
Okay.
yeah, just one significant other.
Choose one.
Especially everyone's wearing boots and stuff. All right, which brings us, we're doing something a little bit different here today, as per the request of y'all. Another bad visual, well, sorry. If you remember what we talked about at the end of last year is 2025, what we want to focus on is relationships and memories. And why? My other mentor before Olivia was Kirby, on the field and in the clubhouse. And one of the things he said, I asked him, hey, if he'd always say you can't put a U-Haul on a hearse. And then I finally asked him, look, out of anyone who's rich, you're the happiest to be rich out of anyone I've ever seen. What does that mean to you? And he said that all you have with you at the end of the day are relationships and memories. And we can have a big U-Haul on our hearse by just trying to make tons of money. However, then we're not creating lasting relationships and great memories. He said, however, if you do take care of the relationships, you're gonna wind up with a U-Haul on the end of your hearse that's huge anyway. And that's real estate. The more relationships we build, the more ability and freedom we have to create memories. I just wanna go to Miami for 3 days, Oregon, right? She's got the wherewithal because she's done enough up to this point to take care of relationships to say, hey, I've got the money and I'm gonna take the time, I'm gonna go to Miami. Is that secret? That wasn't secret, was it?
No.
Okay. Sure, I gotta be careful here.
Too late now.
By the way, speaking of relationships, she's not here, maybe she's online, but I just wanted, let's give her a round of applause. Because Michelle Hoagland, it's her 41st wedding anniversary yesterday. Now, she also wanted me to say it was a prearranged marriage, so right at birth is when they got married. 41. Okay. So when we're looking at this as a leadership team, it's like, okay, how do we help you go deeper with relationships so that at the end of the day, a legacy worth leaving, you create more memories? And we started it off at the town hall. Those of you who are here, we got, pardon me, still lingering a bit. We got a lot of great information and feedback. In fact, this is what it looks like. So I think myself and Toddy are the only ones that can kind of make sense of that. But that's a glimpse into my brain about organizing all your very wonderful, thoughtful thoughts. I highlighted this here today just because there was a lot of great feedback on, I want to hear more from my peers. Unless it's Jamie talking at me, that's not what it said, that's kind of what I figured. But you want to hear more of what's not working for you, what's working for you, and that's something we're going to focus on today. However, I'm going to come to this first, so I'm going to start here. That means, so this is helping us build our 2025 schedule, so you all know you've been heard and we're going to build it. And first we had to go, okay, what's the region doing? And since you know, our OP is now a regional manager, or director, he hates when I say manager, I just want you to look at this. This has never happened in our region. All right, career visioning, Patrick Woods, who's amazing. Exactly what to say with Phil Jones. He is a international bestseller, and we will be reminded to do a drawing at the end for one of his books with real estate executives. He's coming to town. Quantum Leap is always a big event. Leadership with John Maxwell. This guy, he's coming. Are you kidding me? This is crazy. This is one of my favorite quotes of his because it really kind of synopsis, it's a synopsis of what happened last week and what we have here. The better you are at surrounding yourself with people of high potential, the greater your chance for success. If you listen to his lesson, it goes on to the more isolated you are, which is fine. We're all independent contractors, so we're all pretty, independent people. However, the more we're off the vine, the less fruit we bear, right? The more you're connected and constantly being fed energy with your peers, with leadership, with opportunities, classes, it's just natural for you to grow. It's once you cut off the vine though, sometimes you gotta cut off the vine to realize what you got, right? So, move on from there. One of the big things that came about from it is consulting, and what is consulting? Well, it's coaching, and not everyone, the word coaching didn't come up as much as consulting. It's really learning where you're at, what do you want, where do you want to go from here, so that set up a meeting with me. Love to learn what that is, so that along the way we can play a role in helping you grow your relationships, so you have more memories, so we can help you along the way. I think that 2025, that's the best thing I can do for you. And then we're also doing a smart, Jason, you're just finding out about this, but it's actually officially a world tour now. And it's a 36 touch smart plan. And this, again, going back to relationships, right? And memories, it all comes down to the base, the most important part of our job is staying in contact with people and creating relationships, right? So, for those of you who don't know what a 36 touch plan is, first of all, it's smart. So if you don't have one, you're smart, you're just not on top of it. You just haven't done the plan yet. So no, you're not dumb, don't do that. Another book, Atomic Habits. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Gary Keller likes to share that one a lot. So we want to help you build up your systems. Keller Williams is well known for its systems and models. Well, let's get yours up there so that you can take that next step. And how do we do that? Well, what is a 36 touch smart plan? Well, first of all, one of the people you had mentioned in the feedback, you wanted to have Leslie and Andy Peters come in to do the 36 touch plan again, because they're amazing. Well, she just blew out a disc. So we will not have Leslie Peters and Andy, at least. I asked if I could just, I could drive down there and I could attach her chair to the car and just wheel her up here, but she didn't go with that. But God bless her, I pray that her surgery goes well. But what is it? All right, so with Jason's help, Jason is a master at this, Jason Arvidsson, Tech Director. He's a master at this, helping you come up with 12, there's 3 sets of 12 touches in essence. There's market-based property information to show them you're the expert, giving them information. There's 12 touches about value, education, just in teaching them about different aspects of real estate and such. And then there's the personal one, and this is where the rubber meets the road, right? There's many different things, but the biggest one that keeps coming up, and I'm sure you probably know which one it is, but it's quarterly calls. This has been probably the biggest separator in here of the people who are getting to where they want to be and where they're not. Okay, just to be blunt. There's magnet calendars, sports calendars, that kind of thing. In-person events, market center events, which we'll talk about. Birthdays, by the way, I always recommend calling them the day before their birthday. It's extra special. Home anniversaries, just different smart plans for your apps. CMA, different things. I know that throughout the year, Command is actually, because it's AI driven, based on what's working for the most success for the realtors, it's going to keep adjusting. And there's some cool things coming up that'll further separate you with your database than other brokers. Again, if you smart plan it. Vendor referral call chain, we can talk about those things, reverse bold food drives. So because we're a market center, we hope that you live this. That means having events. So we also have events. So if you don't want to have your own events, or you don't just, it makes sense, you want to be cost effective. First quarter, we have the $1,000 giveaway. This is a new one that we're working on. Back in the day, I was with Edina and then another company, and it seemed like everyone was giving away Christmas trees all at the same time, right? Wreaths, that's beautiful. What if we found a way to do that another day? That separated our client, ourselves from the real estate world. So what we're working on is, you could buy these $10 kits to give to clients around Arbor Day, and it can be something, you know, here's a tree and someone planted in the name of someone you love, or whatever it might be. It's just a great separator. When your sphere sees you doing that on social media and your sphere, you're doing it with your sphere, that's a pretty special thing, very thoughtful. Carnival shredding event, that's in the 3rd quarter. In the 4th quarter, there's a couple, and I highly recommend doing both. This year, we want to triple the size of the group in there. That was a blast, and I gained like 12 pounds. So that was fun. My trunk got hit from the tree. All right, I shouldn't look at Misha when I said that. So ultimately, this is where it comes down to. So again, going back to where we're at, what I did was today, getting your feedback, was I just put a bunch of different things in here that are learning based. And it just matters, it depends on where we're gonna go with the conversation. So, how do I stay in touch with my sphere? And this is the hardest, again, we're focusing on this. Because we can have all this, all the other stuff, which is huge, right? All the animated stuff. However, when do we make it personal? When do we really make it personal? Okay, and that's been the biggest thing speaking with y'all too one-on-one is I kind of get stuck. So the first thing I would like to ask, if you're okay, is I think it's important for newer agents, well, actually all agents, to even hear from experienced agents what their hangups are with some things. So who is bold enough to say, what are some of the reasons you hesitate to contact people? Krista.
Well, I think sometimes, I know the hardest ones for me are the ones I've let go too long.
Okay.
So I always gotta find a reason to kind of bring them back into the, you know, I have my regular ones that I contact faithfully all the time. They're also the biggest source of business and that kind of thing, but there's a lot of them that I lose kind of contact with a little bit, staying on top of what their life's doing and that kind of thing.
That makes sense, it's kind of awkward, it's like it's been a while, and why am I calling you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't wanna come across as salesy.
Salesy. I think that's how you spell it, right?
You feel like they're probably too busy, it might be annoying.
Don't know what to say.
What do I say? That's- This is great.
Being genuine, coming off as genuine.
Hard for you guys.
Put another question.
Sorry, we've gone too long without making a smart comment. Anybody else? What hesitates you? Jason?
I know Jamie, business, and definitely when you build up your sphere over the years, and a lot of them are good friends, you definitely, I've always hesitated to make sure I'm not coming across as trying to use the friendship. You know, like you're staying true to that, you're not, and that can be pretty tough sometimes, depending on how it's perceived when you talk to them.
Got it. Having a topic. Topic.
For me, a lot of it's time consuming. I have a lot of elderly people that want to talk all day, and so I have to call them at the end of the day.
Put D1 yappers.
Yappers.
No, D1, I got that from my kids. D1 yappers.
No cap. I just tried to sound hip. I don't even know. Time consuming. I'm trying to avoid trying to share some things that are kind of answers to this that some people share, but anything else? Awesome. All right. Those are all legit reasons, right?
Oh, I have one more.
Yes.
We procrastinated and run out of time. We haven't time blocked it. Ran out of time.
I was gonna not write it because I'm procrastinating.
Well done.
which kind of leads right back to that time lapse then, doesn't it? Because I could relate to that. And it's because I don't time block my time to do it, and then all of a sudden, that time has gone by.
Awesome. How about, you have some creative way, well, let's just look at these. Is there anything here that strikes you that is working for you, that helps you avoid these things? For example, genuine, you always have to call with a sales.
No.
No. Can you just enjoy calling them and just catching up?
Yeah.
What are they gonna naturally do? Hello. And they're gonna ask me, how's real estate? Funny you should ask. Just sold a Rambler and I loved helping them go to one level living. If you ever know of anybody, let me know. That's it, right? And then they're gonna get all your other 36 touch stuff. They're gonna keep that fresh. Now, when you ask them to keep other people in mind, who are they thinking of? So, that comes back to Phil Jones. Ask people, hey, I don't know if it's for you, Tom, but X, Y, and Z. What the first thing you're thinking of is, maybe it's for me. So you're setting them up for just to fully absorb what you're saying. So, good. Annoying. Everyone I call I know is gonna be annoyed by me, so that's not a problem for me. But the time consuming is an issue. And one, I guess, trick, I either did make these calls right before going into other appointments, or, I don't wanna say I fudged it, but sometimes, hey, I'm in a hurry, but I'm sitting here waiting for X, Y, and Z. Just wanna check in with you. How is it going? That's a way of making sure that they understand. You're framing that the conversation is gonna be quick, and you really just wanna know what's going on in their life. And of course, you throw the real estate jab into. Any other ways that works for you? Can I call on you, Sarah, or would that be awkward if I called on you?
Oh, you can call on me. I use my CMAs that I send out every winter as a reason to call. I can honestly say, I think I've called one person in my almost 10-year career asking for business, and I hated it. So I always have a reason. Whether it's the CMAs, inviting people to an event, following up after an event. And then I've also started on certain holidays, like 4th of July and sometimes New Year's. I didn't do it this year because I was sick, but I'll just text, hey, happy 4th of July, what are you doing today? And it's the same text to several people, but I get all sorts of fun responses with what people are doing. So that's not a call, but it's a touch, a personal touch, and they don't know that I sent it to them.
Can I say something about the events?
Yes, please.
I like the events because you can get 3 touches out of it.
Absolutely.
You get a pre-event, you get at the time of event, and then calling them to thank them for coming to the event. Like, you can just get all of that just in one thing. And events are great because a lot of times they might invite a friend or something like that that's coming along where you can get introduced to somebody else who just ends up being potential more business. So it's huge.
And to go with what Bryce said, if they don't show up for the event or can't make it, then you can follow up and say, hey, sorry you weren't able to come, or we missed you, or thank you for saving me money, whatever.
Follow up with the synopsis of the event. But yeah, if you have 4, again, that's why we want to make sure you have at least access to 4. If you have 4 events during the year, you've knocked out your quarterly cost. I mean, there's your topic, there's your, all of the above is gone, right? You're done. Again, the discipline of doing it is still critical, right? So, yeah, someone in their hand? Krista?
I have one that's really been working well for me for those people who I haven't reached out to in a long time, and some of them it might have been 10 years or more. I called them up and I just left them a quick message, even if they were there or not, but it's turned into something, so it's pretty cool. But I said, I was just showing a house in your neighborhood. I drove by your home and I thought of you, and I wanted to reach out and say hello. And it's gotten more phone calls back, and I'm gonna go back through all my lists that I haven't talked to in the last year.
Drive by their house real quick, like, yep.
I'll have to go see if there's homes.
Still stalking.
Drove by. Or if you're showing a home in the neighborhood, or you're doing an open house in the neighborhood, there's just a lot of different things you could use.
Love that. Melanie, thank you.
I just call people and invite them to have a coffee or something with me, because then we can just talk. If they come, cool, I don't feel like I'm selling them anything, and I'm buying them a cup of coffee, because I appreciated doing business with them, and,
Nice. Awesome.
I'm gonna jump off of Melanie's because I challenged myself last year to reach out to people for a coffee or to get together for a coffee, a glass of wine, whatever. But people who I wouldn't normally, not my friends that I get together with, but people I wouldn't normally reach out to who are past clients or people that have sent me business in the past. And it was amazing. It really was amazing. To just sit down with people, and it wasn't about business, but of course, it always, the topic of real estate came up 100% of the time.
I did that yesterday.
My goal is once a week, but that doesn't happen. But I'm continuing to do that this year.
Next time you call about wines, thank you.
Phone number change.
My dog's been here.
just because.
Yeah.
Could you make your why more like a Y? If someone comes in a little late, they might wonder, that looks like an X,
Once it gets lower, I'm like.
on salesy?
Which one? Oh, salesy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, all set.
And Jamie, sales is spelled SALESY.
Salt's good.
Not salty,
Boy, at first it
salty.
was like salsa-y.
I know you're trying to put it all out there, but maybe not yet.
Well, there's a lot of marketing dollar put behind it that probably would work. Please don't go there. Please don't go there, but thank you for that. But we'll just go with salty.
Salty.
Mr. Wright.
Well, kind of addressing the time consuming or time blocking part of it. I mean, it's similar to, when we're setting goals for our sales and working backwards from, where we want to be and how are we going to get there. It's kind of the same thing with the calls. We look at how many we have in our sphere, and it's an overwhelming number to have to call. But if I just do X number a day.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, there's a system for that.
That is.
Like a 411, if you don't know what 411 is, connect with me, we'll do one, that's fun.
DT2.
DD2.
DDT2.
No, DT, no, only one D.
What? D what?
Oh, Lord.
Just put an X in there.
DT.
LZ. R2D2.
Oh, Jamie, you're not in charge of writing anymore.
Good. No, yeah, it takes a plan, right? Again, a smart plan. No plan is dumb plan, or an ignorant plan, because it's not existent, right? If we know in advance what our week looks like, we're gonna probably execute it. One way I'd like to share is, those of you, I don't know who was here for when Patrick Shower spoke about how to reach out to people, how he reaches out to people, has had a lot of success. He's out of our South Dakota, Sioux Falls office. He goes into it in a really unique way. First of all, let me say this. First of all, how many of you, here's your goals, and here's where you started, and here's where you're at. How many of you feel overwhelmed by this? Right? We tend to look at this and get overwhelmed, right? And then, are we more excited to make calls when we're overwhelmed?
No.
No. However, if we focus on the gains we've had in our life and in our business, we're more apt to make those calls. That's called the gain. I can't remember what it's called. The gap in the gain. So, what he said is, he will, before the week starts, look and see who he's scheduled to call. He will go on Facebook, social media, and see what's going on in their life, and just call them and say, congrats on your son's basketball tournament, that was really cool. That's gotta be exciting for you as a dad. That makes it, now you've got reasons to call, and it feels dang good. He showed a study where they showed clinically depressed people, and they just show them, and that sounds weird, but they had clinically depressed people, take a test that showed that they were, And they had them write a thank you letter to someone in their past, current, but they try to be current, and just write a full thank you, just really appreciate you. They sat down, wrote the letter, retook the test with it jumbled around a little bit, and they were out of that mode and were just feeling way better about themselves. Then they told them to call the person. And that was off the charts. So his view of it, he views his reaching out to his sphere as therapy. He's just calling and pouring into people. Business will happen, right? I mean, we're in the relationship business. So go relate, set the ship on sail and let's relate. So that is also a strategy if you'd like. Awesome. Anything else that you all want to share here? Again, this goes back to, if you guys wanted to do more of the peers, let's hear from the peers.
I just have one quick thing. As I'm kind of processing the comment that I made that someone may find it annoying, they're too busy, you know, annoyed that I called. Well, it is their choice to either take the call or hang up. And if you were to call, for example, and say, do you know anyone who might be looking at a Rambler, which was your original scenario, by all means, they're gonna remember that you called them to that point when they get ready to sell their house, and then thinking, what kind of realtor do I want? The one who sits behind their desk and does nothing, or the one who actually goes the extra mile and makes those calls, takes action? It may not impact them right away that day, but they'll remember it when they're ready to move again.
Absolutely. And it brings to life all of the back-end AI stuff that Jason has set up for you, brings it to life. Next time they get a message from you, it's more personalized because you just personalized it with them. Right.
I don't think people, sorry.
You're going.
I don't think people actually find us annoying. I think we tell ourselves they're gonna find us annoying. But in the end, in my experience, they're always happy.
So true.
Do you think it's, this is weird way of putting it, but I like putting it this way because it wakes me up, but you think it's arrogant for us to decide what their thinking is?
Yes,
You think it's arrogant for us to anticipate the future as being negative?
yes.
You know, if we've had a rough 2024, is it arrogant of us to just assume that the 2025 is gonna be awful too? We've got control over it, like we know what's gonna happen, we don't. We have no idea. All we know is we can just make the next step. The next step will get you closer and closer. Brian?
I just kind of piggybacking off of some of the ideas, but I'm gonna share. I like to, when I reach out to kind of break the ice, because we have these feelings, right? It's just to say, hey, I was working here, came across an email, your name, remember a transaction, and I told myself, it's been too long, I'm stopping right now, and I just dial. So if I call you at an okay time or not, but I'd love to connect, how is it? And then you kind of address it, like, I haven't talked to you in a long time, I'm owning it, sorry.
Most people don't even realize you didn't call them.
Right, but
Like,
it
they
kind
don't
of
know
like,
that you're supposed to anyway.
yeah, it helps me at least, I don't know, kind of anxiety I get.
Well, especially important with past clients that we have something set up, right? Because you work so hard to gain their trust. You bring them to the finish line and it was amazing, and then you don't talk to them.
They were best friends for like 3 months.
You're basically related by the time closing is happening, right?
Totally.
But then you go 6 months and you don't check back in. Now what are they thinking the next time they get your mailer? Oh, they just wanted a deal out of me. Right? Now you're losing that trust. When I say you, we, I was there too as a realtor, so. Right.
Just stretching.
Oh, okay. Like, you just go like this. Well, good. Anyone else want to chime in, add to this? Let me erase this. It's kind of gross.
I think you should correct the spelling in the first column too.
Thank you. What I'm thinking, I don't really, as long as the communication happens, I'm cool with it. As long as you know what that is. Okay, well, let's go back to the one point we were talking about here. Let's see, who would I want to pick on? It's not really picking on anybody. But let's just say, all right, Brian. Yes, sir. Right now, your business, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is it? 5. Okay, 5. What's the first thing we usually ask somebody once that happens? We usually ask, hey, what do we make it a 10? Right? It's important for us to know what this gap looks like. However, it's even more important to go, man, how did I get to a 5? This is what's gonna keep you in the happier state of mind when you're doing your work. Because, again, appreciate the gains, appreciate where you're coming from. It's easy to, I mean, you're climbing a mountain, it's easy to look and see how far I've got. Man, look how far I made it. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And this is, again, the Gap in the Game book. So you guys know I do read.
As long as there's pictures.
Yeah, as long as you got this pop up. So I just want to encourage you as you move forward, doing the 36 touch plan, setting up a time with Jason when he's healthy. Or on Zoom tomorrow. Getting that 36 touch plan in place. So that is just churning opportunity. Supplement it with some social media. Again, social media, you might get 1 out of every 100 opportunities to make a sale versus 12. For every 12 people, there's 2 opportunities in your sphere. We want to know what this is. We want to set our goals to this. However, this is where you measure, this is where your focus is, because this is where you get your juice. Always remember where it's at. And this is exactly what he talks about. You measure forward with where you want to go, but really measure yourself. You don't want to stay in this because you'll never get there. You know, ultimately, even if you hit your goals, there's still something about it you go, oh shucks. Right? I got a ton of guys that played, friends of mine that played pro baseball. One guy was upset because I only played 3 years in the big leagues. I'm like, well, I only got right to the cusp of being on the big league team myself. So I always discount it by saying, hey, I only got to be on the 40-man roster. And what kind of thought is that, right? You guys have kicked butt in this business, whether you like it or not. But remember that every day if you can. And this is just some Phil Jones stuff in case you guys want to talk about. Anything else that you guys want to share about the 36 touch, or any questions and where we want to move forward from here? Again, this is the first time we tried this, open forum, just wanted to hear from each other, because you guys are in the thick of it every day, and it's important. One of the big things, again, clubhouse atmosphere, again, an important reason why it's important to be in the clubhouse is you hear the best players and you hear their struggles. It's not just so much what their tips are, it's what are they doing to get through the struggles. You heard from some great agents. I'm concerned about being salesy. When you just look at the other person, you probably think, oh, they just call people and they have no problem. No, it's not that easy. And the one thing that what always held me back was, I don't feel like it. What the heck is that? I don't feel like it. After you make a call or two, you feel like it. I don't feel like going to the gym. Once I get there, I'm so glad when I leave, I'm glad I went. So just do it. Just make the call. Just do it. Awesome. And why are we doing this? Just to circle all the way through? Relationships and memories. So we're going to stay on this. Let's make some appointments, Jason, to get your 36 touch animated, and then come up with a plan. And I'd love to help you with your plan through 2025. So you're getting where you need to be with the relationships in life and growing them, so you have more time and money to create memories. Okay? Deal?
Yeah.
Deal. All right. Thank you. Thank you online for your patience. All right. Oh, one thing. We got a drawing. We got a drawing. You know what it's for? It is for the Phil Jones book. And it's exactly what to say, real estate edition. Sherry, are you ready?
Yeah, what number?
We got it?
Do you think anything up to 29?
Okay, 33. 5.
Number 5 is Will Bishop.
Wow! Like you're gonna read on your vacation. Oh yeah, I'm on a cruise. I'm gonna read my book, honey, just wait. No, but that's powerful stuff. Thank you all. Thank you. The lunch today is on Captain Crunch. And wealth building will be at 12:30, but stick around, ask each other questions, talk about what you're seeing in the market. Misha.
Ryan has a broker's open today
Yes.
from 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Thanks, everybody. Come on over here, yep.
What kind of snacks do you have?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, everybody.
Captain Crunch.
Diet Coke.
He's in there like filling up his shirt. All right, thank you. It's great to be back. I love y'all.
Ryan,
I'm gonna go, I'm gonna get some
He
stuff.
doesn't know, he's gotta run to the store.
It's in the work.
Got it.
What's that?
Ryan, I'm gonna come support you. Once you tell me what's on the menu, no, just kidding, I'll be there.
To be determined.
Thanks for reminding us.
It is, right? I know.
like doing it, she cracks her. Which is nice, because then you're the same student.
Where are we gonna be? Good job, buddy.
I thought you were having a
Thanks. Yeah. Learned some new words today.
And the salsa, like, I was thinking salsa, then I was like, I need some chips. We need some Mexican food now,
I do
because
that when I'm like going to my next stop.
you're just like, whatever, it's up there, leave me
I don't know what I'm
alone.
talking about.
I was gonna come here and get right sometime.
You certainly can.
I got
program, you can't do your practice on
Don't want to learn
So where are you going?
Down to the Bahamas, the Virgin Islands, and
Yeah, I was just talking to a friend of mine who's about to go to Mexico. So I told her, I said, still warmer than it is here.
yeah. So in the Dominican, we're going with monk sisters, and then in the Bahamas, we're going with should be
In the
fun.
Bahamas with her. It was kind of interesting. I didn't think they were gonna let my husband back into the country. His driver's license was kind of, we didn't have birth certificates or anything back then. His driver's license, but we had birth certificate, but we didn't have the passport. But his picture was kind of all scratched. Yeah.